Yo, what's good, Commanders fans? I'm just making a quick video today because I just got the news about the our game against the Falcons will be flexed to the Sunday night football next week. I think it's like December 29th, December 30th, something like that. December 29th, I think. So, we got the Eagles game coming up this weekend, which is obviously a big game for obvious reasons. But looking at the playoff picture, really, the game against the Falcons that'll be on prime time. That's the one that's going to be. That's the one that's going to be weighted the most. It's going to definitely count the most out of any game because right now Atlanta is the only team really in the wild card, other than the Rams, Seahawks. They both have a extremely slim shot of scooting in the playoffs in front of us for the wild card. But the only way that can happen, only way we got to worry about the Rams Seahawks is if they win their next two games and then they play each other on the final game of the year. They would have to tie in that game, and then Washington would have to only win one out of these three games. So we would finish 10-7 in that scenario, and if the Rams and the Seahawks win out and then in the final game tie, they would be 10-6-1. So I'm not really worried about that right now. What I'm really worried about is beating Philly and beating the Falcons, but especially beating the Falcons. If we're able to win that primetime game, it almost assures us we're almost a shoe-in lock to be in the wild card. That's just the way it is. Because as I mentioned before, the only other scenario would be the Rams Seahawks just in that unlikely scenario doing all the aforementioned stuff. So right now, the way I look at it, we win against Atlanta on primetime, we're in. That's how I look at it. Because, yeah, people have won the lottery before, but it's the odds of us beating Atlanta and still not making the playoffs is 1%, if that. So that's the game that we really have to win. Obviously it'd be nice to beat Philly for a multitude of reasons. One being that, F Philly, really. F Philly. I want to beat them. But, if we're able to beat Philly this weekend and Atlanta loses, and then either the Rams or the Seahawks, one or the other, to lose their game, then we could actually clinch this weekend, which, I'm over here just waiting on that Atlanta game because it's regardless, we could go in and beat Philly. If we turn around and lose to Atlanta right after that, then what good does it do really? We're going to be on the outside looking in if Atlanta wins this weekend and then beats us the next weekend. We would have to at that point hope that they lose their final game against the Panthers and we beat the Cowboys. So I don't want it to come down to anything like that. I don't want to have to need any help getting into the playoffs. The important thing right now is Washington. They control their own destiny, which is how we like it to be. But Kirk Cousins, man, coming back in prime time to play Washington. The NFL script writers, they love that. They couldn't have done it any other way than that. Guy against his former team that didn't re-sign with him. There was some disagreements when it came to the contract negotiations. Washington kind of fumbled it actually in the beginning, and then after that, it's Kirk wanted more money after that, and then we're well, we're not giving you that amount of money, which rightfully so. I never thought he was a top 10 quarterback or anything like that. I thought he was top 15 for a while, but obviously he's had more success up until this year than Washington has, but we found our guy in Jaden Daniels, our quarterback of the future. So, hopefully it all work out for us in the end. He can stay healthy over the years and we reap the benefits of it. But I'm definitely pumped that it's going to be a Sunday night game. I love night games. It's going to be a little bit nerve wracking though, just for everything that's at stake. Like it would be nice if we clinched the playoff spot before that, but I don't see that happening. And so it's likely going to come down to that one game to see, between Atlanta and Washington, who's going to make the playoffs. So can't wait for that game. But before that, we gotta try and handle business this weekend against the Eagles. But that's all I got for today. Peace out.